everybody, it's Lexi Lore. So today I'm going to be telling you the story about the time that I got held at gunpoint. I've actually been held at gunpoint 2 times. This is the story of the second time that I got held at gunpoint. And it actually ended up being a sex trafficking thing, but I didn't know it at the time. So I'll explain that a little bit later. So this was my first weekend flying out to do porn. Literally like the 3rd day in. I flew out to Miami December 1st, 2017, and I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't think I was gonna get held at gunpoint. And I just want to clarify, this really had nothing to do with the actual adult industry, and it had nothing to do with my agent at the time. It wasn't anyone's fault inside the industry, so I want to make that super clear before this gets blown out of proportion. I flew into Miami, Florida with 3 other girls. They landed the same day as me. We all stayed in the model house, and if you don't know what the model house is, it's where very new girls all stay in the same house in the porn industry, usually run by their agent. So I was staying in one room with like 3 bunks and 2 other girls who were also brand fucking new. So the 3 of us bonded really quickly. Of course, I moved from Virginia to Florida. I didn't know anybody. I was nervous. I didn't know like what to expect. So the 3 of us, we all got close very quickly. And so we're gonna call the 2 girls Abigail and Samantha. Samantha didn't really like Abigail that much, but it was kind of like low-key. And I was trying to get all 3 of us to be like super close. I didn't want anyone to dislike the other because it was the 3 of us. I just wanted us to all stick together and be friends. And I just wanted to be like, you know, the good one. So I would kind of mediate. But Abigail, there was nothing really wrong with Abigail. I mean, I think she's a sweet girl. She's a little bit crazy, but I mean, we all are, right? So Abigail, I remember we woke up the next morning after we landed and we all had to go get tested. I was doing my makeup because I didn't want anyone to see me without makeup ever, so I was working on my makeup very early in the morning, and Abigail comes in and she starts telling me her whole life story, how her parents treated her badly, her first time losing her virginity, she was raped, and like all this like crazy stuff that I would never tell a stranger that I just met. But I mean, like, you do you, girl, it's fine. But I was a little weirded out. But of course, I wanted to stay friends with all these girls. Abigail picked her porn name pretty quickly. Samantha never picked her name, ever. And it turns out it was because she didn't take the job seriously. It was never her intention to actually be an adult actress. Abigail and I found our agent in a pretty normal way, just doing researching all the agents out there, you know, making sure that we don't pick a bad one. And that's how we ended up in the industry. Normal shit. Okay, if you want to learn more about how I got into the industry, go watch my abusive relationship story. It explains kind of briefly how I got into the industry. But Samantha, boy, did she get into the industry a weird way. Fast forward 3 days into being in Miami with these girls, we are walking across the street to Sally's. We were in Pompano Beach, Florida, so I'm not too familiar with the area or like how safe it really is. Literally, as soon as we got out of the neighborhood, it was like it was planned almost. There was a car that pulled up to the 3 of us, and this short black guy, he had braces, which was really weird. He comes out of the car, he has like 2 friends like in the car waiting for him, and he pulls out a gun and he points it at the 3 of us. And it's like, well, like, what do you do in that moment? Like, you really don't know how you're gonna react in that moment until it happens to you. Like, I just kind of froze up. Abigail kind of froze up too. There was really nothing we could do. We saw the car slowing down and we were getting a little nervous. We thought we were just gonna get catcalled or whatever. I mean, obviously it was like kind of traumatic, so my brain blocks out like parts of the scary part. We were all just really fucking confused. Like, what are the chances fucking 3 days into this shit, we're already getting held at gunpoint? Like, I thought this was a sign to get the fuck out of the industry and just go back home and like be a normal kid again, cause like fuck this shit. I could not believe it. Like, what would my parents say? So Abigail and I are like pretty stunned. We just don't know what to do. But then it was weird because Samantha was like talking back to the guy who like just pulled a gun out on us. You learn what your friends are like really quickly when you have a gun pulled on you. Samantha had some balls for whatever reason, and she's like talking back to the guy with the gun saying, I bet that's a fucking fake gun, whatever. Like, why would you say that to someone? Like, if it's a real gun, why would you say that? Samantha, what are you doing? So the guy who has the gun pulled on us tells only Samantha, give me your purse. I want to see what you have. He steals her phone, and he steals just a small amount of cash that she had. While all of this was happening, I was like shaking, and the guy was mostly paying attention to Samantha. I was kind of like on the end. It was like the guy, Samantha, Abigail, and then me. So it was kind of like at the end, I was like holding my phone in my hand, like really scared. And I had enough sense to pull out my phone and take a picture of the license plate, but the picture of the license plate was so shaky that no one could read it. It was super weird. The guy who pulled the gun on us only stole money and the phone from Samantha, got back in the car, and then left. I didn't really think too deeply about it in the moment. I was kind of just grateful that my phone wasn't stolen and that we were safe and that he left. But later on, it was like, why wouldn't he steal from all three of us? Why would he only steal from Samantha? We're all shaking, like freaking out. I think Abigail starts crying, and then Samantha's just pissed, which I don't understand because I'm like super nervous. I'm not mad, I'm just shocked, you know? So we fucking didn't go to Sally's, obviously. We were walking back to the model house. Abigail called our agent at the time and was like explaining what just happened to us. Our agent tells us that obviously we need to call the police, and we're like, yeah, we do need to call the police. Our agent wasn't at the model house. It isn't where he lived, but the model house owner was very close to our agent, so she comes outside and she meets us at the corner. We call the police with her, and she's kind of like interrogating us as if it was our fault or we had something to do with it. She started saying like, you guys must have been doing drugs, like you must have been trying to get drugs and then you had a gun pulled on you. There's no way that this just happened to you randomly. This area is so safe. We're fucking crazy and we're the problem because we're brand new girls and we're already getting involved in like fucking crazy bullshit. I was like super genuinely confused because like I don't do drugs, and I just couldn't believe that my agent and this lady's response to us getting a gun pulled on us was that it was our fault. The situation was hard enough as it was. So we're calling the police. The police show up, like 3 fucking police cars, and they're asking us all questions. How do you guys know each other? Because it's all like, I'm from Virginia, this girl's from Ohio, like this other girl's from Minnesota. Like we're all from different places and we've all only known each other for 3 days, and then so the model house owner is just like, they do porn. None of us wanted to say it because we were like so new and so uncomfortable with it and what we were doing, even though it's like legal. It was really weird. So we walk back to the model house after the police leave, and they're investigating and they're trying to like find the guy, even though we had no fucking information because I didn't get a steady picture of the license plate. So we're just like, it's just this little black guy with braces and he has friends in his car and it's like a black car, and it's like, that's all we fucking know. So there's pretty much no way we were gonna get the phone back. I guess the phone was turned off, so the phone couldn't be tracked. So our agent ends up coming over to the model house to talk to us about what happened, and he was being pretty sweet about it. Like, he was apologizing and all this. He was saying this never happens, this isn't normal, like I'm so sorry that this happened to you. He was saying, I understand if you guys all want to go back home and you don't want to be here anymore, if you don't feel comfortable and safe. You know, that was never his intention. I was like so good and like so innocent and like so upset and scared from what happened. I didn't know if I was ever gonna be the same again. I didn't know if I would ever feel safe going to the grocery store, like going for a walk. I just thought that my life was like genuinely ruined. Like I thought I was gonna be fucked up and scared of the world forever. Like, I don't know, it was such a low moment for me. I didn't know how I was gonna function normally again. So the three of us girls were a little like disappointed that, you know, the police investigation, nothing ended up happening, and our agent and the model house owner, they were kind of like against us and they didn't believe us. So we all went to our bedroom and we were talking about it, and Samantha was trying to convince Abigail and I that we all needed to go stay in a hotel. Her reason for that was the model house isn't safe. She was saying, so many porn stars have stayed here. How many of them do you think have given the wrong people the address to the model house? And I thought, that's really valid. They also don't lock the doors at the model house, and you know, it can't be safe. There's got to be people who know, you know, that we're staying here. Also, another point that Samantha was making was that it would be cheaper for us to split a hotel than for all of us to stay at the model house, because we were paying like a good amount of money to stay at the model house, and you know, if we all split a hotel, it genuinely would have been cheaper. I was all with Samantha on it, and me and Samantha were trying to convince Abigail, and Abigail was just like, I don't know, like it doesn't sound like a good idea. The model house is here for a reason. They're doing everything they can to keep us safe. Abigail was really unsure, and that was the whole reason why I ended up staying at the model house. So majority rules, we all ended up staying at the model house. As the week went on, me and Abigail, we were doing all the right things. We were doing our social media. We had our porn names picked out. We were super excited about our scenes. We were super excited about the fans. But Samantha never was. Like, she just wanted to lay in bed all day. She was always on her phone. And we knew that she was talking to this guy who was going to represent her as her agent. That is what she told us. But what it ended up being was something a little bit different. Samantha ended up leaving the industry. She just wanted to go back home. So the model house owner pulled me and Abigail aside and wanted to apologize for not believing us, and this is why. Everything in the model house is caught on tape, and the guy who robbed us at gunpoint came back to the model house, this is all on camera, and he handed Samantha her phone back and the money. So it ended up all being a setup. The plan was Samantha, before she got into the industry, she was talking to this guy who convinced her with a large amount of money that if she got me and Abigail out of the model house and into a hotel where we don't know anybody and we aren't safe, we would then be sex trafficked and she would make a whole lot of money. So thank God for Abigail convincing me not to go to the hotel, because I would have been sex trafficked. I had no idea. The reason why we were considered easy targets was because we were brand new girls who came into the adult industry not knowing anybody. We left everything at home behind, and one of the biggest red flags for sex trafficking is you're not around anybody that you know. Bringing us to a hotel was just a way to further isolate us so that people wouldn't know where we are or why we're not answering the phone or what happened to us. So when the model house owner told us this information, I really didn't absorb it completely. Abigail had to explain it to me like a million times because I just couldn't believe it. I was so confused. Sex trafficking is one of the lowest things that can happen to a person, if not the lowest. And I'm super grateful that I have a new agent and I live by myself and I'm super safe and I have all of these friends and chosen family surrounding me in California. And this is one of the big reasons why I wanted to move to California. It's not like the main reason or the only reason, but this story is definitely a big reason why I wanted to stay away from Florida. I want to give a really big thank you for making me number 4 on Pornhub. I've been trending since mid-March. It doesn't feel real. It really does not feel real. No, I never fucking expected to be like the 4th most popular in the world right now. I cannot believe it. I am like, oh my god. Why? Why? Like, you guys need to get off your ass and stop watching me. I'm just kidding. Thank you for watching me. Like, it seriously feels like we're living in a fucking simulation. What did I do to deserve this? That is so fucking cool. Yeah, my life is so fucking cool. I am so thankful for you guys, and I'm so thankful that I didn't get sex trafficked at the ripe young age of 19. Alright, I think that's enough for today. Maybe I'll tell you about the first time that I got held at gunpoint on a different story time. Go check out the links in my description below if you want to follow me on social media. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button so I know you want to see more, and comment down below, have you ever been held at gunpoint? That was like way too YouTuber of me. Bye!